Hello and welcome back to the Entertainment Vortex. We were at Brendan Theaters today watching Glass. I was really excited to see this movie. They said that they were going to be releasing it in January. That was a little troublesome. Then the critics got a hold of it and they said that this movie was not going to be very good. So I tempered my expectations, and I'm happy to say that those expectations were completely obliterated. This movie may be a little divisive in some ways. If you're not into comic book lore, you may not enjoy this movie, like I said, but the majority of people are into comic book lore. There's definitely some meta concepts to this film, but it has all of the best things of a good M. Night Shyamalan movie all wrapped up into this film. The characters are acted magnificently. They bring in a new character with Sarah Paulson, and she does a great job creating this psychiatrist who has this little bit of unsettling tension about her character. Samuel L. Jackson is great as Glass. Bruce Willis is great as the Overseer, but the star of the show again, and the person who steals scenes every time he's in them, is James McAvoy. He effortlessly floats between one character and the next, because he's playing somebody with a dissociative identity disorder, and that is a big part of the central character of him and all of the auxiliary characters that he plays that build up this character of the Horde, having all these different personalities kind of bouncing back and forth and battling each other internally. They all intermingle in a way that I didn't think was going to make as much sense as it did when you actually sat down and watched the film. They created an interesting story to weave the three people in between each other and to create this narrative that, like I said, it just felt very well lived in, and it just felt like it was given so much passion and so much love. Based on what the critics have said up to this point, I feel like they just didn't get it. It's similar to how they just didn't seem to get Unbreakable. I don't know if it's people who are getting tired of the whole comic book thing, but I don't think that this is enough like that to really make you think, oh, this is just another comic book fair type thing. Like I said, it's a completely original concept. The way that they use comics as a meta connection to build these characters and to build the story is just really interesting, and I enjoyed it thoroughly for that reason. It has a great use of music. Music sets the scene every time you see Glass, and I really, really appreciated the way that they use music and the way that it flows with the storytelling. There are some things in the story that feel a little bloated, and some things that feel like they're kind of tacked on too late to really have had a huge relevance to the plot, but those things were easily kind of washed away, and it creates, like I said, there's still a narrative that's super enjoyable within that. Having some things that are tacked on late on don't necessarily deter from the moviegoer's experience. And having, like I said, all these, these titans, these characters build up to what they believe to potentially be a showdown at the end of the film. Like I said, you get a lot of that from the trailer. They talk about showdowns and everything. Having it build to what they believe is a showdown really creates an interesting narrative, and that something's around the corner. And with M. Night Shyamalan, there are going to be twists and turns. And I don't feel like these were poorly placed, poorly telegraphed, and I don't feel like they were a deterrent. Sometimes M. Night Shyamalan makes what would be considered a great movie except for the twist that he felt like he had to shoehorn in. And it was in that era where, he was making a movie every year, and that was a failure point for his career, but he's taking more time now. And you can see that in the films that he's making. He's making things that the twists make sense as far as the storytelling is concerned, and he's taking the time to make sure that those twists are fleshed out and that they come in the right places, and they're not just there as an aha moment, they're there to really push the plot forward. Another really, really big highlight of this film is the cinematography. The way that they chose to use shots, the way that they used POV in some places. It has one of the best uses of a Dutch angle I've seen in 10 years. Like I said, that's refreshing to me. Having a movie that has really good cinematography, a really good story, really great actors, putting in great performances, some of the best performances of their career, if you're asking me. This is a recipe for success. I hope that this movie proves the critics wrong. I hope that people will go out and see this film and truly enjoy it for what it was. The audience applauded when this movie ended. It was something where everybody who was in that audience understood what was going on and understood that it was a great film that deserves praise. So for me, I'm gonna give this movie a 9 out of 10. Like I said, I feel like it was very well put together. I feel like it wasn't something that was shoehorned in, or that there was aspects to it that shouldn't have been there, and I feel like it was just really well fleshed out, and I kind of hope that we see more from this genre, or from this particular series within M. Night Shyamalan's work.
If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We give you multiple videos every single week. And we have t-shirts available if you're interested in those as well. Those are available down in the description below. We hope you'll follow us into the Vortex. We'll see you next time.